Now it's time to test your skills, reflect on how far you've come, and build your personal roadmap to lifelong fluency.
And before we wrap up this incredible journey, a massive thank you to each and every one of you, our amazing viewers, supporters, and English learners who stayed with us from the very first episode till now. Your views, likes, shares, and comments made this entire series possible. We've grown, learned, laughed, and mastered English together, step by step, level by level, and it's all because of you. But remember, this is not the end. This is just the beginning of your real-world English mastery. Keep practicing, keep exploring, and stay tuned, because the Duo Dialogues will be back with more exciting content soon.
What happens after you've actually reached, the peak, the highest level of English mastery?
Yeah.
We're not just talking C2 level, but what comes next?
That's exactly it. This deep dive is really for you. If you've done the hard yards, you've hit that advanced level, and now you're kind of asking, okay, so what now? Because the sources we looked at, they suggest mastery. It isn't really the end point. It's more like the start of something else, something bigger.
Okay, so let's unpack that. This idea that mastering English isn't the end goal. It's actually the beginning of this ongoing journey.
Yeah, exactly. The materials, they first take a moment to celebrate actually getting there. Right. Reaching mastery is a huge deal. They acknowledge that journey you've already taken, but then pretty quickly they pivot.
Pivot to what?
To the skills needed beyond that point, the really nuanced stuff.
Okay, right. And that's where it gets super interesting, I think. What kind of advanced techniques are we actually talking about here?
Yeah.
Because the sources mention things I wouldn't immediately connect to language, like humor.
Yes. Exactly. Humor is a big one. And it's not just about understanding a basic joke. It's the really tricky stuff. Sarcasm, nailing wordplay, getting those cultural references.
Things that can go wrong so easily if you misinterpret them.
Absolutely. And they also highlight advanced negotiation. How do you politely reject something? Or use really persuasive language effectively.
That's subtle. And what struck me was the emphasis on the social side of things, like navigating slang. And not just general slang, but social media speak, even regionalisms.
Which changes all the time. It keeps you on your toes. It really shows that language isn't static. It's alive.
It really does.
And vocabulary, of course, that's still key. But the approach changes. It's less about lists, more about building it organically,
How so?
From authentic places. The sources point to things like books, TED Talks, podcasts. Finding those words used naturally.
In their natural habitat, as it were.
Precisely.
Okay, so you develop these more advanced social skills, this richer vocabulary.
Yeah.
But how do you stop them from getting rusty? How do you maintain that edge?
Great question. And the sources are clear. Constant use, practical application, and actively testing yourself.
Testing yourself. How?
Well, they give some concrete examples, like maybe you hear some new slang, actively try to figure out what it means from context. Or practice responding to negotiation scenarios, even if they're just hypothetical.
Or figuring out why a joke fell flat, maybe.
Exactly. Analyzing misunderstandings related to humor. It's all about active engagement.
But it sounds like more than just occasional tests. The core message seems to be about building like a system, a roadmap for lifelong learning.
That's the heart of it, yeah. They suggest specific daily or weekly habits, things you can actually build into your routine.
Like what? Can you give an example?
Sure. Small, consistent things, like reading one article, maybe from a global magazine each week, or watching one TED Talk.
Okay, manageable chunks.
Right. Or maybe journaling your thoughts, using some of the new words you've picked up, joining online forums to actually practice debating or discussing things, using the language.
And they actually list resources to help you do this, right? I remember seeing that.
They do. Very practical. Goodreads for finding books that challenge you. TED, obviously, for talks. BBC Learning English gets a mention for pronunciation nuances.
Oh, good one.
Reddit communities for that discussion practice. And even tools like Notion or Google Keep just to track the new vocabulary you're learning.
So it's a whole toolkit, really. Tangible steps you can take.
Yeah. And if you zoom out, look at the bigger picture. The sources really hammer home this idea. Mastery isn't a destination you just arrive at. It's more like a lifestyle.
A lifestyle of learning.
Exactly. You have to commit to keep learning, keep practicing, and, this is important, keep making mistakes.
Ah, yes, the mistakes. Still part of the process, even at this level.
Definitely. It's all part of how you grow. You can't be afraid of them.
That really resonates. I like that final thought from the sources. Keep learning, keep making mistakes, and keep shining.
It's a great takeaway. Which kind of leaves you, the listener, with a question to think about. Now that you've achieved this amazing level, how are you going to weave English into your life? Not just as a communication tool, but as, well, a way to genuinely connect more deeply with the world.
That's a powerful thought to end on. Great thing to ponder. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into life beyond language mastery.
If this series helped you even a little, don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a comment, and share your favorite moment from this journey. You are the reason this channel exists. Thank you once again, and here's to your unstoppable fluency.